Hello, dear viewers. Thank you so much for joining me today in my backyard. Today we have some sad news from the weekend, right? We have the mass shooting in El Paso, Texas, 22 now dead, and that was racially motivated. There was a white supremacist manifesto basically written by the shooter beforehand. And then we had Dayton, Ohio, and that seemed to be a troubled young man who had dreamed of doing mass shootings before, had a hit list in high school, was suspended for that, yet nevertheless passed a background check to get this rifle. So, you know, two different sides to this same issue. We are so tired of having these mass shootings. And guys, I have to tell you, I have the feeling there will be one more. Yeah, there will be one more. And so I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Well, I mean, of course, you know, wait long enough and there would be, but there will be one more in fairly short proximity, I think. Yeah, and I don't know why I hear Wyoming, but then Wyoming, you know, I may have been hearing about that for a different reason. But the thing is, we know these things will continue to go on because there is no real legislative changes here. States on an individual basis are doing some things to improve background checks, but yet it's just not enough. It's really not enough. So I do want to ask again, and I've asked this before, do we have any progress in gun control? Coming up. And I want to ask about white supremacy too. So progress in gun control. 8 of Cups, not till Trump leaves. 9, there's Trump's card. And then we have the Knight of Wands. And a lot of times that is that sort of, sometimes it's been ongoing investigations, stuck midway. Sometimes it's been sort of new political energy. Not till Trump leaves. Okay. Let's hope that's sooner rather than later. Let's ask about, do we have any progress in the white supremacy issue? Because the alt-right has been growing in audacity and in prominence, and we have this problem with domestic terrorism that's alt-right, that's white supremacist, and the FBI have identified it even in a report that came out recently. So yes, we have an issue. Most of the mass shootings have in the last year have been related to this domestic terrorism alt-right stuff. We have a serious issue in the U.S. Will we have any progress in addressing that? We have standing our ground. We have the Tower reversed and the 5 of Wands. In other words, this is a tower. These incidents, this incident in El Paso is a tower moment. But what effect is it having? Nothing. You know, after a tower, things are supposed to be different. And that's why it's reversed. So again, we're not having any movement in that way for a while. Standing our ground. Political debate. 5 of Wands. Okay. What about, gosh, when? Because I do see eventually a lot of these people having to scurry off into the shadows again. 9 of Coins. Well, see, the truth has to come out about what blocks it. The truth has to come out about the white supremacy to the people who, there's such a propaganda effort. There has to be a difference in consciousness. Okay, so for Trump's base, not all of whom are racist, probably, but at least they're certainly willing to tolerate racism. And many are quite racist and are feeling a lot more confident about that, speaking about that. They need to understand truth. So Spirit with that Ace of Swords is trying to bring truth to them. But it's just taking a while. What's this 9 of Coins with the sitting pretty, the woman enjoying her luxuries? What is that one about? Well, okay. So that's obviously a white woman. In fact, she looks sort of, look at her dress. Antebellum, right? So we need to raise the awareness. We need to raise. I was watching a show. There have been so many monuments to the Confederacy, right? And the Daughters of the Confederacy are a big group that was guilty of doing that. You know, all the Robert E. Lee this and the Robert E. Lee that. And there are so many monuments to the Confederacy in a lot of these southern cities, but there are not monuments to those who were slaves, those who were free, those who fought for their freedom, those who were courageous and endured, those who helped free other enslaved people. You know, that's who should have the monuments in these cities. That's who should have the monuments in these cities. We need a change. We need a change in consciousness, and it's going to be, it's not a one-time thing. Or we keep having these Three of Swords, right? This repeated heartache, where, you know, America has not dealt with its history. And that shows. And we still have a lot of racism tolerated and embraced by some. So we need to, Spirit's trying to bring the truth. So I guess what I'm hearing is this. There will be a gradual change in consciousness. There will be a gradual understanding. We shouldn't stop. We shouldn't stop. We shouldn't quit talking about this. We've got to keep talking about it. The voices have to grow for equality and against bigotry and racism and hatred. The real voices. You know, different than when Trump says he's against hatred and he's against all kinds of white supremacy. How is that square with all of the other rhetoric and his reliance on those votes and his pandering to those votes? So is there anything else we should know about that, Spirit? So we have 7 of economic hardship's going to have something to do with that, you guys. I feel like not only dissatisfaction with security and safety, yes, but I do feel like part of this is a distraction. You know, when certain politicians want to foment hatred and racism or tacitly encourage it, you know, not stand up against it, that's all a distraction from the economic troubles that most Americans share, you know, that unite them. So I feel like there's going to have to be more of that for us to all come together. The moon reverse, secrets have got to come out. There are secrets. Secrets have got to come out. Oh, people have got to get exposed. Yeah. And that's possible. That is very possible with the internet. You know, people leaving anonymous posts and such. A lot of that needs to get exposed. That's interesting. And we have the King of Cups reversed. We have to not be complacent. We have to not be complacent. That's what I'm hearing. Everything's not just fine. Okay, so there we go. I wanted to read on gun control. Although I talked about that, it's not happening until after Trump goes. Let's see, gun control. I just want to ask about it again. What about these assault rifles? What's going on with them? 4 of Cups reversed, there's more for us yet to learn with the 6 of Swords. And the Ace of Wands reversed. Nobody's picking it up. Nobody's picking it up. Nobody's picking up the opportunity to do something about it. Okay. Well, I really wanted to read on those things. I'm going to do another reading on some other miscellaneous things, but I'm just wanting to use my voice, and we all need to use our voices regarding gun control, regarding background checks, regarding white supremacy, regarding domestic terrorism. We all need to speak up. Thank you. Bye-bye.